and currently holds the position of project manager with the Overseas Examinations Commission and has special responsibility for the Customer Support Center. She oversees the OEC's multi-million-dollar project to distribute desktop computers to secondary schools in Jamaica, which will facilitate the transition of electronic testing at the CXC level. So you see, they're planning long ago for this, you know. And so COVID has asked us to step up a little further, quicker. She's also responsible for the implementation and management of the Customer Support Center, which will allow the OEC to better service stakeholders, the secondary schools, professional examination bodies locally and internationally, and the general public. In a voluntary capacity, she gives of her time to support the Jeanette Grant Woodham Education Foundation, a not-for-profit established to provide grants and bursaries for needy students at the Tivoli Gardens High School. Over the last 3 years, she has been instrumental in assisting the foundation with its annual fundraiser dinner, which is a source of funding for grants issued by the foundation. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Management and Psychology and a Master's in Business Administration, General Management, both from the University of the West Indies. She's also a certified behavioral coach, having completed the International Coaching Federation approved program at Success with People Academy in Jamaica. Her interests include reading, mainly self-development books, creating handcrafted jewelry, and interior decorating. So there is your speaker, Michelle Walford. Michelle, I now hand you over to your guests for the afternoon. Please enjoy, ask your questions on the chat, and then we'll get this thing started. All right? Thanks again and welcome. Michelle?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Suzanne, for that introduction. I have not heard that so long ago. I'm not sure if it was me, but thank you again. Welcome, everyone. I see Melissa. There are some other persons. I'm not seeing all the videos or all the images. So I will just ask you, okay, so welcome to this session, and I keep pushing that button. So welcome to this session, and I see that there are about 10 persons on at this time. I want to just ask you to, first of all, introduce yourselves and to just let me know what it is that you hope to learn on this session this afternoon. So I'm going to ask that we, Donisha, I suppose you could assist me with the persons that are online. So let's just go. Melissa, I'm going to pick on you first to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what you're doing now. I know you were the dance partner at the party a couple of years ago, but I don't know what you're doing now. So just let me know and tell me what you hope to achieve from this session. So I start with you, Melissa.
Hi, Michelle. Glad to have you. What a fun memory that you brought to mind. Thank you for that. It made me smile. All right. So I am Director of Hermage. I chair the Membership Services Committee. And I am also the Director of Human Resources and Administration for Total Jamaica Limited, leading marketing company.
Okay.
What I hope to gain from this session, I'm very open. I know there's so many opportunities to explore using the online platform to build entrepreneurial skills and enterprises and so on. So I'm hopeful to hear from you, the expert, how to do this.
Okay, great. Next person, just come online and this is going to be a dynamic session, so feel free to jump in and just speak.
Audrey Watson. I work with the National Water Commission as the Human Resources Manager in the Western Division. I'm particularly interested in seeing and hearing how we can move forward, as it says, the success, the awesome success that we can have using the various platforms. And even this time when we're using Zoom, I am sure you'll be giving us, as the expert, some real keys in ensuring that we open up and explore other areas going forward.
Okay, great. Next person.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carla Mary. I am the Director of Human Resource Management and Administration here at the Nature Preservation Foundation, operators of the beautiful Oak Gardens. Happy to be here, and I look forward to gaining knowledge, skills as it relates to what is possible in this new normal of having meetings and other activities online.
Okay. Next person. Anyone else willing to share?
Hi, Michelle. This
Hi.
is Loy Walters.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Sure, certainly. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I have in my headphones, so I'm not here. Are you hearing me now? Better?
Hearing you loud and clear.
Oh, you're hearing me loud and clear. All right. Hi, everyone. Loy Walters is my name. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn.
Okay, great.
I'm here. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. I believe we have a general idea of the persons. I understand you're all HR persons and you want to understand what we can do to get awesome success online. So first of all, the usual question that we want to first of all ask is, why would you want to be online? Because we know right now that COVID has forced a lot of persons to be in the online space. But outside of using it for COVID, what are some of the real reasons that we want to be online? Now, a lot of persons sometimes dream about being their own bosses and they want to get away from the 9 to 5, be able to have, the freedom that you want. So can you just share with us maybe in the chat, Danesha, could you assist us if there are comments in the chat, to just tell us, why would you want to be online outside of being because of the COVID situation right now? Anyone? Okay, is it that our person's hearing me, or you're able to respond? Because we want you to be involved in this session. So I'm not, if I hear no responses, then we have to just move along. But I would love for us to have an interactive session and a discussion. So
one person said to make money.
Okay, right, to make money.
Petula response. Your online presence is more far-reaching and quite impactful in this technology age.
Great. Any other comments?
Latoya says, technology is the new norm.
Right, so that basically is the general gist of why. So the first thing persons say is to make money. Now, one person said to make money, and that is a great reason to be online, because right now in this COVID era, what we are finding is that persons who are online are the ones who are making a good income or a sustainable income, while a lot of persons who have a 9-to-5 scenario are sometimes being laid off. And I'm sure HR has, the HR representatives on this call would have had to deal with some of those challenges. I know you have had to do a lot more work as HR professionals within this COVID era, because there's so much changing dynamic with persons who are in your organizations. So, you know, a lot of persons who may have to be asked to do reduced time, or persons who are made redundant, or having to, where your organizations have to downsize, then some of these persons may be looking for opportunities and for options that they can do online. Now, I know you have seen this slide that has been popping up before. No, it's not. Okay, here you go. So this is some of the reasons. Now I want you to explore these 5 reasons why persons, or why you should consider being online right now. As we said before, a lot of persons dream of being their own bosses, and they want that freedom. So we want to explore these freedoms that we are looking at on our screen. Now, I know a lot of persons usually talk about the financial freedom, but have you ever considered time freedom? Now, time freedom is that opportunity for you to use your time at your own pace. You determine what time you wake up, what time you commit to different projects. You are not on a clock. They are not persons that are looking and waiting for you to do something. You can control, so to speak, your time and your efforts in terms of what you do and what you accomplish for each day. Now, in terms of location freedom is now the opportunity for you to work anywhere in the world. It could be on the beach in South Africa, or it could be in the hills somewhere, wherever there is internet access, you are now able to work. Now, you don't necessarily have to wake up, get dressed, jump in the car, and then go in this commute to get to work. You are able at this point in time to work from wherever you are. And more we are seeing that there are organizations that are becoming responsive to the work from home scenario, and are able to allow their employees to work from home. Right now, I am doing just that, working from home today. And so it becomes good for us to work wherever we are. And then the other one is people freedom. Now, can anybody venture a guess as to what we mean by people freedom? Suzanne, what do you think we mean when we talk about people freedom?
I think it's a freedom to meet many more persons than you would normally. So you can meet one from anywhere in the world at any point, which is it's greater than when you are just in one space.
Okay. Anyone else? Loy, would you care to venture a guess on what we mean by people freedom? Because why would you need people freedom?
Well, depending on the job you do, you perhaps can work without persons around you. That's what I'm thinking about in terms of our freedom to operate by yourself, depending on what you do. Maybe.
Okay. Well, it's that's a good option there. However, people freedom, think about it, is the freedom to choose who you work with. Now, if you are person working in an organization, very often you are put in a team or you're put in a group of persons and you have no choice in terms of who you work with. I recall when I was at university, there was this lecturer that I had, and he would come from, I believe it was St. Kitts, and each year he came to teach us to teach strategic planning. But one of the things that he was noted for is that he would not allow you to change your team members. So his philosophy was that whoever you are put with, you have to learn to work with them. So even when persons were not pulling their weight, persons were not delivering, there was no productivity from them in the group. And no matter how you requested a change, you showed that this person was pulling down the team, his position was simply, you cannot change this team, you have to learn to work with them. Now, there is absolutely some value in that. However, if you want to be able to be productive, it's a greater probability for you to be productive if you can choose the persons who you work with and know that they are going to deliver exactly what you want. So when you have the opportunity to work online and you're your own boss and you have these freedoms, it means that you can be even more productive. You can have financial freedom so that you're not stressed and worried about what your next dollar is going to come from, if you do it right, that is. And then you have the time freedom. You can choose to do what is most productive for you. You can choose where you work and when you work. And you can also choose the persons that you work with. So what I believe is the opportunity for us to work on, when we choose to work online, is to be able to accomplish these 5 freedoms. Now I want to ask you, of these 5 freedoms, which is most important to you at this point in time? Would you want to say? There are some persons, they are different for different persons. So some persons may want the financial freedom, some persons may want the time freedom, location, or the people freedom. But the fact of the matter is that we can achieve all 5 if we are able to craft our online business. So let's move on. Now, what are some of the mistakes that persons make when they decide to work online? A lot of persons want this to happen overnight. Now, you believe that it's going to, as long as you set up your accounts and so on, then it should, the money should pump in right away. Now, working online is hard work. It is a lot of work. Takes a lot of creativity, a lot of your time, but it means that it still allows you the opportunity to be more creative and more free in terms of what you do. Now, you don't have the big picture of what an online business can be like for you. So you may have an idea that it can, that this can work, but you're not sure what the big picture is. A lot of persons are afraid of the technology. Is there anyone on this call who is afraid of technology? I hope not. I see Susan shaking her hand there, but we don't want you to be afraid of the technology at all. At this point in time, it is so much easier. Maybe a few years before, it would be a lot more difficult. But in today's day and age, when a lot more persons are coming online, the technology is now more user-friendly, and therefore it makes it easier. Now, some persons think that it will be easy. It is not as easy. It is easier, but it's still not like a walk in the park. It takes a lot of work and investment of your time. And so some persons are also not willing to make the investments. And sometimes persons think that your business or whatever you think of cannot make it online. So you shy away from doing that. So I just want you to dream with me, because one of the first things that you have to do if you want to start a business online is that you have to dream about it, because we all dream of being our own boss. But if we're going to be that boss, what is it that you would want to do online? If you are going to think about a business that you're going to create online, or if you're thinking of going online, what would that business look like for you? And I just like you to share with me, 1 year from today, I'll just give you a brief minute. 1 year from today, if you had a business that was fully online, what would it be and what would your life look like? Dream with me. Susan, I see you dreaming.
I would make $1 billion US a year for giving advice and just speaking. That's my dream. Helping people and getting paid for it.
So that's helping persons and getting paid for it.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Susan, what would you dream of? What are you dreaming of?
I would like to do a TED Talk.
A TED Talk.
Yes,
okay.
And also to give unsolicited advice on things.
When you say unsolicited, what do you mean?
I just look at things that happen and then just comment on it.
Okay.
Especially when I think that it's foolishness they're doing.
All right. Okay. Anybody else?
Motivational speaker.
Motivational speaker. All right. And what would that business look like? Is what are you doing? Remember, we have now the 5 freedoms. What are you doing as part of that motivational process? Who can you see yourself being like? You see, in order to start the business.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, okay.
Yeah, going on. Why not?
Why not? Right. So you dream big. We have to also dream big. So you have to now look at what it is that you want to be able to do in your online business and what it is that it will look like. Because that is how you are going to start to be able to design that business to suit your lifestyle, your personality, and your income potential. So there are some business models. What business model would you be thinking of? Because, for example, as many persons, you just said you want to be a motivational speaker, TED Talk, you want to help persons online. But how do you propose to do that? What would be the business model that you are choosing? Will you be doing blogging? So as a motivational speaker, you can showcase your work and your talents and your products through a blog. It could be affiliate marketing. It could be just a regular YouTube channel. It could be information products. There are some persons in HR who, there are lots of documents that you use throughout or throughout your day, and a lot of forms and, you know, just many different types of documents. Is it possible that you could create those documents and sell those documents to other persons? I noticed Susan wanted to do unsolicited advice, but that can be simply through your Facebook page. It could be on a Twitter page. It could be through other social media channels that you could possibly do that. But if you want to know craft a business, then it means that you would have to put some structure to that dream, so to speak. Drop shipping is one model that persons are using, where you purchase a product from a third party and you have that product delivered directly to the customer, and you are just collecting the differential in terms of the income from that, the sale of that product, and you have no need, you're not storing the product, you're not having any kind of inventory. You are basically facilitating that person having a sale for their products. Now, one of the simplest ways to get online right now is to do what a lot of persons are doing, which is like a mastermind, or it could be like a Facebook group where you will provide that advice, Susan. So you could get persons to come into your Facebook group, and you can charge them for participating in the group. So on entry, they would have to pay a fee, and then you provide them with those services that they would want within that group. So your group would now have to be specific. You know, it would have to have a goal and objective, so that persons who come into that group now are able to get what they want, and they would be willing to pay for that information to, and you get paid while you are providing the information. There are some persons who are never seen on camera. They simply aggregate information and provide it to the public. So you could create the mastermind. You are simply the facilitator. You get other persons, experts, to come in and provide the information, or give the advice, give the motivational talks and so on. And you are simply the facilitator who is collecting for the charge, so to speak, for that service that they would get as part of that group. So there are many different models that you can, business models that you can use online. It could do, as I said, blogging, the regular YouTube channel that you could combine with, for example, an affiliate marketing strategy, so that while you have your channel, you are combining it with affiliates. So you have an affiliate link on your YouTube channel, and essentially whenever someone clicks on that link and purchases something, you are then able to get a commission from that sale. So a lot of persons, YouTube, for example, requires that you have 1,000 subscribers and you have 400 watch hours. So you have to ensure that you are not going to get that kind of watch hours right away. And therefore, in order to monetize your channel, you can then now combine it with a YouTube affiliate marketing strategy. So you now need to determine what is the business model that you are going to use. You could also do some freelancing. A lot of persons are now doing freelancing. Freelancing is where you can work online. Fiverr.com is one that comes to mind. Recently, I know there's another local company called The Hive, where you can work online and get a commission from working online. Fiverr allows you to set up your service and provide the services and charge for that service. You have to do an entry-level amount. In other words, you can only charge on entry maybe about $5 for your services. But as you grow and as you work on that business, you are able to charge more and more, and therefore you can be able to make an income from being online. So these are some of the business models, and we look at some others later. Now, as I said before, your online success path is dependent on some of these 5 things you'll have to do. First of all, we just spoke about dreaming about what you do online. Now you're dreaming about what you're doing online, and then you have to plan it. You research it, and then you are going to have to plan what you're going to do. So if you want to be the motivational speaker, you need to start looking at other persons who are within that space and be able to see what they are doing, and also be able to mirror some of what they are doing if that makes you feel comfortable. Researching your business means looking at Google Trends. You can look at BuzzFeed and all of these types of applications that will help you to craft your business and to determine what it is that you would want to do. How do I model my business so that I can make an income? The other thing is that you would need to test it. How do you test your business? You have to get friends or persons within your circle to look at your business. You have decided that this is what you're going to do. You can talk to your close friends and say, what do you think about this idea? Research it. You can do your surveys online. So on a Facebook page, for example, you can maybe put out a feeler to say, I'm thinking of doing soap making. Would you be willing to purchase this organic soap, and so on, and then see the feedback that you get to determine whether or not this is a good area to pursue. But the idea is to make sure you dream about it, then you have to plan it, research it, test it, check to see if persons are interested in this product or in this business model, whether it will make money, and then you nail it, meaning that you are going to have to practice. If it is, for example, like you're doing motivational speaking, then you would have to do some amount of practice among your peers to ensure that you are engaging, ensure that you are providing that kind of energy that a motivational speaker would bring to the table, so that you will end up getting followers and persons who would want to purchase products from you, books, e-books, and other types of documents that you would be able to use to promote your business and your organization. And then you can scale up. Right now, you may be looking at 50 persons to impact within a certain time. And then as you grow, you can look at all the other things that you would be able to do while you are working on your business. Now, what are some of the tools that you are going to need for online success? Now, we're going to look at about 10 different categories of tools that you would need. And as we go through them, you can ask any questions that you would need to, if you need clarification on any of these types of tools. So first of all, you would need to have like an email service. And that is common to everybody, so that's not a surprise. If you're going to be running your business, you want to have some kind of email service or some kind of CRM, customer relationship management software. Now, an email is good for this. You can do this very easily in a Gmail account, and so that's easy. All of these tools that we're talking about, they all have very low cost versions to them. So you don't have to think that your business has to require a huge startup cost. You can start for a small amount of money to do an online business. And this is why it is so attractive to a lot of persons. So the first thing we talked about was the email service. Then you would need, some persons would do surveys. You need to have some kind of survey facility, as we said a while ago, so that you can research your business and to see whether or not it is we are able to use this, to do this business. You want payment processing service. So if you are going to be running like courses online or anything requiring that payment be done, then you would need to get some payment processing service. You want to have what we call squeeze pages, or what you call landing pages, so that you don't have to, in the initial stages, go as far as to have a website. Although it's much easier now to create a website, because you can almost do it yourselves. WordPress has become so much easier that if you don't have to be a techie wizard to do a website at this point in time. Before, you used to have a developer and all these persons that are going to charge you a lot of money. But at this point in time, it is now much simpler, and you have a lot of services out there that can help you to do it yourself, to set up a website. But if it is that you can afford to spend the time or the money, you can go as far as to create your website. But if not, you can do what is called a landing page, which is simply a page that when persons go there, they see information that's specific to you and your business, but it is not a full-blown website where you are going to have a lot of other information. But this landing page now would be specific to whatever services that you are selling at that point in time. So if Susan decides that she wants to move her way up to becoming a TED Talk person, then what she could do is start a landing page, showcase herself and her talent, put videos on your landing page, showcase what you are doing, and then talk to your audience, give them some free services. And as you grow and grow and grow, then you will get referrals, and you will get to the point where someone will invite you to become a member of their TED Talk team. You want to look at shopping carts, right? You want content creation tools. So if you're going to be online, you need to look at content creating applications, because when you're online, you need to continue to produce content. Persons are hungry for information, and so they're always going to be searching. In the HR space, I'm not sure if there's a lot of free information out there. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Susan. What say you? Are there a lot, if there's a new person coming into the HR space, would you say that they would have access to a lot of information that they could be able to operate or function, hit the ground running?
I think if they use LinkedIn, they would get that type of support.
Okay.
Facebook is a kind of like a friendly thing. You know, we get a lot of those there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I do a lot of research, but I just type in something and you get a lot of free courses and documents and downloads and so on. Even today, I downloaded something on public speaking. So,
but how user-friendly is it to the Jamaican situation? Would you be able to go online and search for something and you see a document that is structured for the Jamaican environment?
No, on LinkedIn you have a lot of Jamaican persons who present and write articles and so on, but Most of the others that we have seen is outside of Jamaica, but if you read it, you can always tailor it to the Jamaican. So there's a space for us to develop some of those things right here in Jamaica.
Right. So that's so here we're saying these are opportunities to work in the online space and to provide these type of materials. So we looked at websites, your squeeze page. You need your email service. You need survey instruments, and free online is Google Forms that you can use to do your surveys without any cost to you. Payment processors, as we said, you can do your shopping cart, but that may be a stretch. But if you are serious about it, you can go as far as to get shopping carts. You need content creation tools, some of which we'll talk about, and some automation tools you could use as well. So you have autoresponders that can help you to set up, for example, emails that will go out while you are sleeping. So you just set it once and it does the work for you. So these are some of the tools that you can use to ensure that you have that time freedom at the top, but at the same time you have the financial freedom as well, because while you are sleeping, the system that you have set up is working for you, and so you move to the place where you are now getting passive income and not just income that you work for, so to speak. And then there are the presentation tools, for example, like the webinar tools that we use. We know about Zoom and StreamYard, and there are a number of others that we'll talk about. And so these are some of the tools that you can use, and this all depends now on what is your business model. Because if you are, for example, a motivational speaker, you would not necessarily want to use certain type of application because it may not showcase your services as well as others. But there are some that are common to all the different forms that you can do. So we are now going to, so these are some of the categories of tools that you need to do business online. So tell me, are persons on this call familiar with these types of tools, or is it that we are really now just interested in the presentation tools? Hello? I'm not getting any feedback from the group.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, she not hearing me at all.
I'm hearing you.
Hello.
Are you muted?
Anybody home?
I'm hearing you.
She's not muted. Galaxy J7. Can you hear me? I don't know. You need to
Hello.
Hello. You're muted. But am I do it? I'm not. What's okay? If you need to speak, you could just use the raise hand feature. I'm not sure if. No. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the person who is trying to speak.
Not seeing anything, Michelle. Nothing in
there,
chat
but she
either.
I can see her, but she's muted.
Who is?
I'm not sure what her name is because her is just the Galaxy J7 that's there. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can't call your name because I don't know.
We can
Michelle,
hear you.
can you unmute her? She's Galaxy J7. If you're able to do that. Anisha, can you unmute her? She has stepped away.
Okay.
Go ahead, Michelle. She has stepped away from her.
Yes,
computer.
I'm not able to unmute her.
All right. So let's move on. So we just want to look at now some of the essential tools that you need to work online. Quickly, as we mentioned before, you need an email, a kind of email service to communicate with your customers, and that is very critical. As we said, but you need to evaluate these in terms of the price, what skill, what the implementation process that you need to do for that. In other words, for example, in terms of email, a lot of persons would know about MailChimp, and so MailChimp can help you to manage your customers. So you are able to you're able to send an email to multiple customers at the same time. You're able to set up your email so that you are able to use this service to manage your time. It saves you time, and you're able to connect with your customers all at the same time. You're able to set up different campaigns. Does everybody, well, I'm not sure. I believe that most persons would understand what we mean when we say you set up a campaign. So a campaign, for example, would be if you are promoting your business and you want to communicate with your customers, you can set up several emails. You create them once and you schedule them to go out to your customers during the period that you want to run your campaign. And it means that it's easy to use. And so this is a way to connect with your customers, give them updates, making sure that they are constantly in tune with what you are working on and what you are doing. Then the next tool, as we mentioned before, these are the essential ones. We did mention the 10 categories before, so now we are saying that these 3 are the essential ones for you to start to operate online. So the first thing you need is some kind of email service provider, and that would be some kind of marketing software, which we are saying an example of that would be like MailChimp or Infusionsoft or another one that's called Keep. So these are applications that will help you to connect with your customers and to maintain and manage them. The next thing, essential tool number 2, would be a landing page. You want to have some kind of landing page where persons can visit that landing page and be able to see what your service is all about. What are you offering online? And they are able to connect with you. They are able to interact with you. They are able to see your services. They are able to request information, and they are able to be in touch with you. And this is like the front window. This is the front of your business. You are using this when someone comes onto your landing page. The look, the feel, the way it is structured will give an insight as to who you are, and they will be able to also make a decision. Do I really want to work with this person? Do they represent what I am trying to find? And what is this person offering, so that I will want to continue to interact with that person. So you need to decide now on a landing page. Do I create a landing page? And I'm saying that if it is that you're starting off starting off small and lean, the things that you would need to get right away would be your email service, your landing page, and also the third thing would be your domain name. So the third thing would be what you call your domain name. Now, to get a domain name, you would have to go to a site, for example, like GoDaddy or Bluehost or HostGator. Susan, I saw you kind of made, I think, what you're with me? So you would need to go to one of those sites so that you are able to set up a domain name. Now, the domain name doesn't mean that you are going to now create a website, but this would be a place where you can put information about yourself and persons can be able to connect with you online. So it could be a simple...
Sorry, is that for free or you have to pay something?
Well, you would have to pay a minimal fee. I know Bluehost, for example, charges a minimal fee. So something for like $5 or so, you could maybe get a plan for a period of time. But it's not very expensive, depending on the one that you use. But a lot of people go on these sites and they reserve a lot of domain names. You find that sometimes you may create such an interesting domain name that somebody may be willing to pay you for that domain name. So if you, back in the days, there were a lot of persons who would go online and if once they see a rising star, so to speak, pop up, they would go and request a domain name in their name, and then that person would now have to come to pay them to get that domain name, especially if it's like a .com domain. So this is one of the things that you can do. So simple things like Get Online, Spark.com, all of these things you could use as your domain name and then start putting information about yourself online and be able to connect with persons. So I don't know how we're doing for time. 4 o'clock. Okay, so those are some of the essential tools that you would need to get online. Now I know that persons want to hear about this fantastic platform called Zoom. So help me to understand in terms of how much we discuss on Zoom. Is it that persons on this call know about Zoom? Are there things on Zoom that you have heard of or want to know how it works? Because what I find, I don't like when you're like on a call like this to actually go through the application. Sometimes it doesn't work. So is there any particular thing that we want to learn about Zoom? First of all, let me ask that question. Is there any particular thing that you would want to understand how to do on Zoom? I can't see the chat, Danisha, so you have to help me if anybody has any questions or any information in the chat.
Nothing at this point, Michelle.
All right. Now, there are a couple of things that I just want to say in terms of Zoom. Zoom is very user-friendly. You can do a number of things on Zoom. You can record. A lot of persons are using Zoom to do presentations. They record those presentations and then they post them on YouTube or on Facebook, and they connect with their customers and are able to find ways to monetize those recordings. So in order to use Zoom, you basically you are able to schedule your meetings. You're able to start a meeting right away. So there are a number of things that you can do in Zoom. Zoom is one of the platforms that, well, it has become the go-to platform for most persons who are working online and persons who, for example, like coaches, marketers, persons who are have to do presentations and meetings. That has become the go-to platform for most persons. a couple of things that persons are may not be aware of. For example, on Zoom, I know a lot of persons do presentations, or you want to do audio with Zoom, and some persons are not sure how to do that. Suzanne? Suzanne?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, help me a little bit here. Do we want to actually go through the Zoom platform, or we just want to know about it?
I don't know. I have to ask your participants.
But I am the response is not coming through. I'm not hearing most persons. Participants, help me here. In terms of Zoom, how many persons are using Zoom at this time, or use Zoom within your daily operations? Do you use Zoom for meetings or for presentations?
Donald Dennis says he currently uses Microsoft Teams.
Or use Microsoft Teams, which is similar to Zoom. It's a good meeting platform. It may not be as user friendly in my view, but it is a great option for Zoom.
Petula uses Zoom.
Okay.
Donald Dennis uses Zoom, but for its in external activities.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So Zoom is an excellent platform. The only challenge with it is that it's the free option only allows you 40 minutes or 45 minutes, and that sometimes poses a challenge when you have a long meeting that you have to do. So in that case, you would have to upgrade to the different versions of Zoom. But Zoom allows you to record. It allows you to share your screen. It allows participants to share your screen. And basically, you can set up all of these characteristics for your meeting. You can do your polling. You can do breakout rooms. You can basically engage your participants in whatever way you need to engage them on the Zoom platform. It is user friendly. The security has increased significantly, where you can do your waiting rooms, so that persons have to be allowed access to the meeting. You can use your whiteboard feature. You can annotate. If you notice on my screen, this is the annotate button here. So you can do a lot of drawings and mark up on Zoom. So if you're a teacher or a lecturer or someone who is giving any kind of instructions, Zoom is very good for that. So you could use any of these features here. You could draw, you could type, and all of that you could do while you are on Zoom. So it is very good for persons who are doing presentations, doing instruction, who are coaches, and so on. That is a good feature. Now, all of your buttons, if you notice, I'm not sure if you're seeing this, the band on the screen at this time, but you are able to use these controls to manage all of what you do on Zoom, right? You are able to record the sessions, and you can record to the cloud, you can record to your computer, and you are able to get that recording, both the audio by itself, and you are able to get the full recording of the session at the same time. So, and they are separated. There's also a feature that you could engage in Zoom where, if, for example, you have participants who have a noisy background and they are not able to share in the session, but they are speaking, you can ask Zoom to give you the audio for each specific participant within the meeting so that you can hear clearly what they have said. Because sometimes also when you're in a meeting, there sometimes can be crosstalk. And so you may not hear exactly what someone has said. But if you request from Zoom that it records the individual's audio, it means that when you get the audio for each individual, you are now able to hear clearly what that person said, and you would not now hear the crosstalk if you were to play the entire session as it is. So those are some features that you can have in Zoom. Also, you can bring in additional pictures from, say, for example, an iPhone or another device. You could also bring that into Zoom while you are presenting. So you could be showing images from your cell phone as well as from the computer cameras that are there, and both things can be projected on your screen at the same time. So these are some dynamic features that Zoom has, and we can explore those options some more. But if when you are in the software, you just need to explore wherever you see a down arrow, you can look, hover over that arrow, and when you look, you can see the different options that you have. Once there is something that is checked, it means that it is active. If you uncheck it, it means that it is not active. So there are all these many options that you have with Zoom, and so you can you can do so many things. You can use different microphones and speakers, and bring in a lot of things to make the experience with your customers or your clients or the persons, your audience, more engaging and more of a engaging experience. So as you explore Zoom, there are a number of things that you can do, and I want you to challenge yourselves to just look at each of the buttons. When you look at Zoom, don't just use the ones that you are familiar with. Go to all the little arrows, the drop-down arrows, and explore what they have to offer, because it may mean that you could create an even more exciting and engaging option for your team at that time. Now, there is anything else that you'd want to hear about Zoom? All right, let's move on. Now, this is another popular software or application, I should say, that is used. This one is completely free to use. It's called Jitsi Meet, and it has similar features to Zoom, and but the most fascinating thing about it is that it's completely free, and you are able to use it to do all the things that are similar to what you have in Zoom. And notice some of the things there that you can do. You can share your desktop screen, invite, have the conference calls, edit documents, and just have fun with that software as well. But it means that it's important to go into these applications and just explore them, because sometimes it's not always easy to go through everything on a short call like this one. But if there are any questions that you want to ask further, then we could, any specific thing that you want to ask, then we could look at that as we go along. Now, these are some other popular resources that you can use. If you are doing more webinar type of activities, there is, for example, Webinar Jam, and if you notice, it is from marketers, persons who are showcasing products and services. It's always easy to use these. But if you notice, the prices on these things are pretty, they are, you know, significant. So these you would have to use if you are seriously in business to really make money. Then your business should be able to offset the costs for these platforms, but they are additional applications that you could use depending on what service that you're offering to your customers. Just to add a few more things that you can use if you want to, you know, make an impact online. You need to have good graphics for your websites, your landing pages, for your products and services. And I have listed here 3 fantastic software applications that you can use to create simple graphics for your online business. Canva.com is one. It has a fantastic free service where you can create videos, you can create ebooks, you can create t-shirt designs, you can create invitations. There is a gamut of things that you can create free of cost on canva.com, and you are able to sell these products on through your landing page or through an email service that you would be using, email marketing campaign in that sense. 99designs.com is another one. Postermywall.com is another service that has a paid, each of these have paid versions, but the free version is as good for you to start your online business and then scale as you go along. We did mention before some landing pages. MailChimp is a good one, Leadpage and Keep. These are some resources that you can use. MailChimp is free. I know that they are changing their service as they go along, so there's still a free aspect to it that you can use. And as we said before, your hosting sites where you can go to get your landing page or to create your website. These are some of the hosting sites that you can use online and be able to start an online business that will be able to give you the 5 freedoms in a short possible time. But as we say, it requires a lot of work and a lot of commitment. So if it is that you have time or you can plan to reserve a certain amount of hours per day to work on your online business so that you can be able to get to where you want to be. I believe that is it. If there are any questions or any areas that you want us to look at or explore, then we are able to do that now. Any questions from the group? Any questions, Danesha?
No question. Miss Barbara, your mic is on mute.
Guys, if you need to ask a question, can you please unmute and ask the question, or you can type it in the chat. Anything you need to clear up?
Donald Dennis has made a comment. Interesting tool in the graphic sections. Any tools around engagement?
Engagement. When you say, help me to understand when you say engagement, because all the tools that we have discussed before you can use for engagement, but it also depends on what type of engagement you want to accomplish. is it more along the lines of promotions, or is it just interacting with an audience? Can you be a little more, give me a little more in terms of what you mean by engagement?
Donald?
He has commented, employee engagement during this time, activities, etc.
Okay. As I said, all that we have spoken about, for example, if your company has a YouTube channel, if you have a Facebook, if you have Instagram, it is what you are going to create, it's the content that you are now going to develop. So for example, you could ask your employees to send you a picture of how they feel today. They could use, you could have them do that on a Facebook page or an Instagram. You could create a special email that they could send it to if you wanted to remain private. You could use a blog, for example, and just post information about COVID and how they could be, what are some of the options that they could explore during this time. So engagement is about looking at your audience. Who am I interacting with? What is it that what would they get excited about? Because someone the type of engagement I'd use for a teenager, for example, it certainly wouldn't be necessarily what I'd use for an adult, but the platforms that I use could very well be the same. So I could still be using Facebook to engage both the teenager, for example, and the adult, but the content, what is it that I'm asking them to do is what would be the difference. So you have to determine now what kind of content, what do I want to provide to my audience? And then you could use the different platforms to then determine how you connect with them. Because the tools are basically just to reach your audience, but you have to now come up with the creativity part of it. What do I play games? I noticed that Her Majesty is going to be having games on Zoom. Notice the COVID has made Jamaica now the party central online. So I just saw last night where the NBA has come up with this great application where they make, though the players are playing in what is called a bubble, the sound system is created within the arena to make it sound as if an audience is there. So the players feel as if they have an audience that they are playing to, but the stadium is empty, but the surround sound now makes it appear as if someone is there. So the point is that we have all these vehicles, we have, and there are a number of other vehicles that we could think of, but the idea is that you have to look at your audience or your customer or whoever you're trying to connect with. What is it that you want to provide for them or offer to them, and then use creativity, all the graphics tools, all the different video applications to find creative ways to engage them. I hope I have answered your question.
Ronald response. Thanks for the thoughts, Michelle. I guess a lot of times we struggle with the content.
Okay. Now, if you struggle with the content, then you can, get content creators, and there are persons who are content creators. We have a team, I mentioned before, that I do a contact center. We can create the content for you. You tell us what you want and we can create it for you. So if it may be Instagram posts, it may be the YouTube videos, it may be the games or whatever it is, there are persons who can create those for you if you are not able to create it on your own. But as I said, do not underestimate how simple it is to do these things. I know a lot of persons are fearful of just, when you think of a video, you're saying, I don't understand and whatever. But there are so much solutions now. On Canva, for example, they have pre-done videos, and all you have to do is to put them on a timeline, and you have the audio or the music that you can insert, and in no time you have a video. So you know, the process to get these things done now has become very easy. So I know there's still that fear factor, but what I'm asking you to do is to allow yourselves to explore. But if all else fails, there are persons who can assist you to get that done. Any other?
Petula is asking.
And we can just say that.
Petula is asking.
Denisha, just to say that the activity that we have on Friday will be one of those that we are going to have content that is fun.
Right.
That will engage persons. So go ahead now, Denisha. Thanks.
And the activity on Friday, of which Miss Bradber mentioned, is our talent show. This is a part of our HR week. It will be on Friday evening at 7 on
Right.
Zoom.
And Danisha will be performing.
No, I won't. Absolutely not. That's not my talent.
Anything is possible.
So Petula is asking, could you elaborate on content creation tools, or is the website or landing page tools for content?
Okay, the landing page would be, if I can use the analogy of a chalkboard, the landing page is a platform. You now have to put things on it, so to speak. So you have to design whatever your landing page is. So content creation tools would be simple tools, as I said here, your graphics tools, your video making tools, your WordPress, for example, that can create the designs that you want to put onto your website or on your well, not on the landing page, because WordPress is a site that allows you to create a website. But your landing page is something that when you sign up for these, they usually give you things like a template, and then you can now put onto it what you would like to put on it. So in MailChimp, for example, you can create a landing page, and they give you all the template. All you have to do is drag and drop the images that you want. So you could write a story, for example, and they show you where to put the text. When you put the text there, it is already preset so that it can make the text look beautiful for you. And then you pull in an image and so on. So the landing page is a place on the web where you can put content, but you will have to create that content in other applications and then upload or add them to your landing page, so that you create a kind of a marketing. Think of it as creating a brochure for your business, but it is just that brochure would now be online. So you have the template. Once you register for the landing page, you now have a template that you can basically fill in the information that you want to show to your audience, so to speak. So the content creation tools would be like a Canva that helps you to produce the graphics. But then your regular Microsoft Word you could use to do to type out your content, and then once you upload it into one of these applications, then it can make it look good for you. So I don't know if I've answered the question in that sense. So
Yes.
the landing page is just basically a template, and you fill in the content.
Yes, Petula says understood. Thank you, Michelle.
Any other questions?
I think we're just about out of time. So I will just use the rest of time to just wrap up. So Michelle, thank you very much. And where can people find you if they're interested in content development or any other information that you might share?
My email, I don't know if you can see it on there. You could email me at beccashell@gmail.com. That's my email. And if, I don't know if you want to add a telephone contact, my telephone would be 876-857-7517.
Thank you. And if you forget, you can always ask Hermage for her contact.
Okay.
We can do that for you. So thank you very much, Michelle. Very interesting. I have thought about online for a long, long time, but somehow I just seem to be afraid for people to see my face. Anyway.
And you look so beautiful right now. I'm not sure why you have that fear. There is, look, nobody, there's one thing I've read, nobody cares online, in the online space. There are so many persons who you would have, in person, you would have thought, how on earth would this person, anybody be interested in that person? And once they go into that online space, you find that they have more followers than you can think of. So
I don't think it's the look, it's not the look I'm worried about, it's the fact that people are seeing me when I'm saying what I'm saying. It's nice to say it when they are not seeing.
But this is why you continue to do it and you gain the confidence, because a lot of persons are not looking, they're not doing that. They are once you provide value online, you have an audience. And that's what we need to remember. People are looking for value. And once you can deliver something free at first, they win their confidence, and then you can charge afterwards. But it's not about what you look or who is saying it or that people will know. People want to see you as well. So I want you to get past that fear, Susan. So maybe that's why I'm going there.
So persons, just to remind you that we have some other activities for the week, and tomorrow we will look at relaunching our ethics code, and that will be at trying to see it here, Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and you use the same login as you do today. And then on Thursday we celebrate HR Day. So HR people, if they don't come and celebrate you, go to the desk and say, hello, this is your HR personnel. Could you please celebrate me today? Because HR Day is celebrated on the 8th. And we're going to have a public lecture, which will look at gratitude is a must. And it will give you proven tools and strategies to use in people development. And then on Friday, we are going to have Hermage Got Talent. Now, all of you that are on here, can you please sign up to do something? We have 2 poems, 1 singer and 1 almost singer. Well, he's saying going to try sing, so I don't think he knows he's singing. So we need some more talent for that. So please sign up, and we're going to have some fun on Friday evening, and that will start at 7 o'clock. So I hope you learned something today. Remember, if you have any questions, you can shoot us a mail, or you have Michelle's email. You can email her and get some more information.
All right.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank you again, everyone, for being on this call. I really do hope that it was of value to you today.
Thank you too.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Audrey. Welcome, Audrey. Alicia. So we'll see you tomorrow evening at, what time we start tomorrow? 6:30. Please come again, and Michelle, we'll talk.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Everyone, have a good evening.
Michelle, Jackie says hi and thanks for the presentation.
Okay, tell her hi for me too. All right. Mm-hmm. Is it I who close this out? Stop sharing.
Stop recording too, Michelle.
Oh, Michael. Hi, Michael. You were there?